After everything like yesterday and today, the learning, the sharing, and just the projects that we were doing yesterday really opened my eyes that that our coalition could possibly even, try stepping in other areas for child well-being, just specifically to make sure that our younger generation grow up in a healthy environment and eating healthy foods.
This is a group that's really looking at shifting practice in communities toward a longer-term vision that acknowledges multi-generational historical traumas and inequities, and is trying to come together to have a larger impact over the long haul to change those inequities and create well-being for children.
It's really nice to be able to broaden the spectrum of the work that I do, to consider other entities such as child care centers, attorneys, different organizations that work with state and local government can all impact the work that I do with women, families, and children.
I was amazed that people could directly kind of pull and relate to their work and their contribution to whether it was directly obesity or breastfeeding, and that really what's driving folks is questions of social justice, right, and equity, and the impact of poverty.
It's really exciting to see what is going to come out of the meeting. I think it's very easy to get siloed into our own positions and our own work, and each of us have these really valuable efforts and programs and approaches that can be made even more valuable by connecting to the diverse group here.
It's really helped me understand that even though I may have a particular national perspective when I go to work every day for my policy work, I need to think about the ways in which what's happening on the ground at the community level is pushing up, and how to highlight that better.
We know that children need to be fed, housed, clothed, and all that. But and we know that starting early is so important with brain development. But really looking at it from a health perspective and a food insecurity perspective might really shift how we address and who we address school readiness.
And we talked about the complexities of looking at weight versus well-being. And other metrics of health.
The whole concept of pre-father and the needs of fathers doing the prenatal and the time of life was just inspirational for me.
Us as adults, we should do more networking to communicate with each other, to understand what is going on in this town or the next town, to be able to understand and to get the type of help that we need in general for our own towns.
It's moved our thinking along. I'm left with questions about how do we take action. I think you have to sometimes have confidence you can move forward without knowing the whole solution, and I'm very optimistic.
What I took away from this conference so far is that we are all there because we want to figure out how we can better communicate with each other, how can we link with each other, and how can we act.
I'm just hoping that we can all stay connected, because I really feel that with this particular group and the collaborative that she's put together, we can seriously make some changes.
I want to see other people, everybody be a part of this kind of initiative. If we can raise the bottom up, the top will be even higher.
There have to be all kinds of meetings. I feel on the one hand there needs to be more local meetings. There need to be regional, there need to be national, and more so ways that we continually feed back with each other, even if we can't physically be in the same space, that we're continuing to learn from each other.
This conference just makes me just think about other people who could benefit from this process. It's not just the Black individuals who are suffering from, not being paid attention to as fathers. It's the natives, it's other ethnic groups that we can't ignore while we're thinking about a movement and community.
I think this convening just helped me realize why I run into some of the roadblocks I do, and kind of where some of that frustration's coming from. And in theory, I've gained some tools to approach some of those barriers. And so I'm excited, but I'm nervous to get home and put that into practice.
Listening to the Witnesses for Hunger, listening to them and hearing their work, and then looking at it, other networks that I know of that are doing similar work and how powerful they could be together. A lot of the organizations that I worked with, at the time don't have that kind of data, so being able to link up with them around that data really strengthens their work. So it's just, I think, lots of possibilities in that room.
So I feel like this conference has created this really robust and dynamic circle, and I am hopeful for all of our collective efforts to keep growing and growing.